Hello, my name's Al and today I'm going to show you how to replace your brake pads. Tool-wise, you hardly need anything to do this job, just some Allen keys. You're also going to need some brake pads. If you've already got cartridge style brake pad holders on your bike, then you can just replace the rubber part. So these inserts are available to fit different styles of brakes, so Shimano and Campag, and also older pre-year 2000 Campags, so make sure you get the right ones. If you don't already have cartridge style brake pads, then you can upgrade them by buying them separately and fitting them to your brakes. The advantage of using inserts rather than complete brake blocks is that they're cheaper and much easier to replace. First of all, I'm going to show you how to replace the inserts only. Now, if you've watched our previous video and your brakes are set up properly from the start with fresh pads, then this will make it a little bit easier. So hopefully, as your pads have worn, you've not had to adjust the cable tension at the clamp and you've just been using your barrel adjuster here. So if we wind that all the way back to where it was when we fitted our new pads, then with any luck, we're going to have the right clearance when we fit our new inserts. It helps if everything's nice and clean. If it is, go ahead, grab your Allen key and undo the small screw at the back of the pad. You don't need to take it all the way out, just undo it. So it's about to come out, just leave it in place and use your Allen key to push the friction part of the pad out of the holder, like so. You can see the small groove here, it's a Shimano pad, where this screw would locate to help prevent it from falling out accidentally. If for any reason you do notice that your pads are orientated the other way around, i.e. the pad came out the front, then make sure you swap them around because that is only going to end in disaster. Here's our new insert, ready to go in. They're marked right and left, so make sure you get the right one. And that should simply slide in from behind like so, and then we just nip up the screw. Doesn't have to be super tight, just finger and thumb. That's all good. Repeat for the other side. So that's those fitted. As long as your pads were set up properly in the first place, then they're going to be back where they were, hopefully towed in properly, and you've got your full adjustment of the barrel adjuster back and your bite point restored at the brake lever. If you decide to replace the whole pad, here's what you need to do. Undo the retaining bolt for the old pad and remove it from the caliper. Just pop the bolt back into the pad so you don't lose it in case you need it later. Take your new pad and taking care to orientate the washers correctly and observing the direction of the pad as well. Will be marked right and left. Bit of grease on the threads. I'm just nipping that up with your fingers. You may have seen our video about setting up brakes before. I'm just going to run you through it again. So it's basically a case of setting the toe in on the brake. So we're going to use a small bit of card, business card, something like that will work nicely. And we're just positioning that at the back of the pad and we are applying the brake lightly. We need to position the pad so it's as low down on the rim as possible. As the pad wears, it'll effectively move up the rim. So by positioning it nice and low to begin with, then we'll get maximum wear out of the pad before we have to adjust it, if indeed we do have to adjust it. And we're also going to make sure that it's perfectly in line with the brake track on the rim as well. So it shouldn't touch any part of the rim other than the brake track, and it should be well away from the tyre. So as low as you can. Might take you a few attempts. The reason why we tow the pad in is it gets pulled in by the rotation of the wheel as you apply the brake, and by towing in the pad, so the front end hits the rim first, then it'll help prevent squeal and we'll get a better life out of the pad as well. When you're happy that it's aligned correctly, then we're going to tighten this bolt properly. Shimano recommend 5 to 7 Newton meters. So once that's nice and tight, just check again. It's hitting the rim nice and square, nice and low, and perfectly in line with that brake track. Then we repeat for the other side. Finally, we need to just make sure that the brake's nicely centered, so we've got an even gap between the pads on either side of the rim. You can do this using the adjuster here, or by physically grabbing the brake and positioning it centrally. Once you're happy, give the brake a good test before you go out and hit the open road, and all should be well. Brake's all sorted. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Cheers.